I am a publisher, writer, editor, daughter, sister, auntie, dog mom, and many other things, including currently a cancer patient. But I am not a doctor or medical professional of any sort. What you are about to watch is an episode of my journey through cancer. I'm sharing my adventure with you in hopes that you'll find something here that's comforting and maybe even inspiring. This video is not intended to provide any sort of diagnosis or treatment plan. Please go talk with your doctor for professional medical advice. It has been some time since I've posted on this channel, 3 months, and that's because once you've finished cancer treatment and you're healing, the milestones are few and far between, or at least it feels as if the milestones are few and far between to me, because it feels as if I have been living with cancer for years and years and a fucking decade, and I actually had to count back to figure out how long this saga had been going on, and it's only been a year and a half. But I do have some big news today, so stay with me. So what happens when you're a year and a half out from cancer treatment? Well, in my case, having had anal cancer and a full course of chemo as well as radiation, the first big cause for celebration was that I no longer felt I had to scream every time I peed. Peeing is possibly the worst side effect of radiation treatment, pelvic radiation treatment, and it's such a incredible feeling of feeling normal again when you can no longer fear going to the bathroom. But the next big cause for celebration was being able to reclaim my pants, which meant that the radiation, all the burns had settled down, and I no longer felt like screaming when fabric touched my pelvic area. Then the next step was going from daily check-ins with my doctors to weekly check-ins and then to monthly check-ins. And let me tell you, that really frees up your time when you're dealing with 3 different doctors and they all want different tests and to see you on a regular basis. But now my next tests, my next MRIs, my next PET scans aren't scheduled until June. So I have 6 months off from cancer appointments. But that doesn't mean my doctor appointments are through, because now that the emphasis is no longer on cancer, it is switched to becoming caught up on all the tests and doctor's appointments that I haven't had for a year and a half. For instance, on January 2nd, I got my first mammogram in nearly 2 years. So, it's a matter now of just checking out the rest of the body and making sure that the rest of the body and not just the butt is healthy. Then there are the longer term issues that you deal with. For instance, I now have radiation-induced osteoporosis, and that's not unusual for people who've been through radiation. I am told that there is no way to reverse osteoporosis, but there are things you can do to stop it from progressing and getting worse. And those things revolve around diet and exercise, as most things to do with, maintaining your health start with diet and exercise. It's eating more fruits and vegetables and whole grains and healthy sources of protein and getting plenty of calcium, dairy products, and calcium supplements. Limiting sugar and phosphate additives, and also limiting alcohol and caffeine. I don't eat a lot of processed food to start with, so limiting phosphate additives, which can interfere with how much calcium your bones can absorb, that's not hard. But limiting caffeine and alcohol, coffee and wine, that's harder. As for exercise, I am doing some weight-bearing exercise, and for me that's walking, which I love to do, so that part's actually fun. I'm also doing strength training with free weights and working on flexibility and balance exercises, which are not important only to heal from cancer, but I don't want to say heal from aging, because aging is a natural process, but to help you age gracefully. Those strength training and flexibility and balance exercises are important. And that's the sort of thing I am going to delve into in my new channel. It's going to be about experiments in aging well, diet, exercise, all the different components of aging, and what we can do to keep our vitality as we grow older. The channel's called Fine by 69, and I will let you know when it launches later this month. Meanwhile, back to cancer. There are some things your doctors don't tell you right up front. And one of them for me was that the radiation was probably going to permanently change the way some of my internal organs functioned. And as my doctor put it, that change would probably be permanent. Let me put it this way. I can now feel my digestive system working inside my body. I am finally attuned to food processing its way through my system. It's not pleasant, it's not unpleasant. It just is a new sensation. And what are you going to do? Not have the treatments? Keep the cancer? I don't think so. Mostly, I am still tired a lot of the time, and I'm still fighting feeling pretty low, and working hard to regain my cheerful nature and my ability to want to do things besides nap. Although I realize it's probably really tedious for people to listen to me bitch about it, because it bores me to sobs, so I'll spare you. The bottom line is that cancer is a marathon, not a sprint, and it's going to be 5 years until they will tell me that I am cancer-free. So, there's a lot of tests and doctor's appointments in the 3.5 years that remain on that 5-year time frame. But here is my joyous news. I get my port out in February. This port was installed in July of 2022 to facilitate my chemo infusions, and I hate it. It itches during the day. At night, if I roll over into a certain sleeping position, it will pull. If I forget about it when I go into shower and wash over it, it will start to hurt. There are certain articles of clothing that I can't wear because they will rub up against it and irritate it, or the fabric is too sheer and the port sticks out like a third nipple that's always cold. But I've been a really good and tolerant patient because I needed the port, so, what are you going to do? In the last few weeks, however, my tests have all come back clean, and all 3 of my cancer doctors have agreed that I can have my port taken out. Now, it's a minor surgery, and it's scheduled to happen in about 3 weeks, right after my latest infusion of the osteoporosis medicine. When my hematologist oncologist told me that she approved the removal of my port, I can't quite explain the feeling. There was relief, certainly, that the blasted thing was going to be gone. But there was so much more. It was this feeling of peace and elation that I was probably going to have to get used to not being sick anymore. It was the first time I really felt like I was coming to a place where I wasn't going to be actively sick anymore. I just hugged my oncologist, and she just hugged me back. getting one's report out is a huge, enormous, momentous milestone. And in a few more weeks, Goddess willing, I will reach that mile marker. So thank you for watching. I will report back in when the report is out. If you like this video, don't forget to give us a like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you'll be notified whenever a new video is uploaded. Don't forget to call your congresspeople to demand universal health care, and most importantly, don't forget to vote. Thank you for watching.